Well, good.
Yep, we're rolling.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right, so this first question, actually just a personal question for me. I'm from Seattle, so that's
Oh, okay.
an episode from Seattle, and I just wanted to ask, you guys got to climb the Space Needle. You guys also got to go glass blowing at Chihuly. That's awesome, too. So what was your favorite part about Seattle?
Dude, Seattle was so much fun. I wish we would have had the chance to take it in, though, because we were just stressing trying to hurry so much that we didn't, really stop and breathe. But I mean, the trapeze was awesome. I never thought I would do a trapeze thing. And when I saw what we were doing, I thought, okay, this is going to take a while, but we figured out how to knock it out pretty quick.
Each one of the challenges was actually a lot of fun. I think my favorite was probably walking on top of the Space Needle. I'm not a big fan of heights, but in that setting, I don't know, it's something that you don't get to do. That's not just for anybody to go up there. Mm-hmm. And so the fact that we got to walk on top of the Space Needle, that's just crazy.
Yeah, insane. I mean, I've been up there before, but on the roof, I can't even imagine being up there. It must have been insane. But yeah, congratulations on all the success you guys had on the show. You guys had a strong lead in the final race. Can you take me through the emotions of that final race, and what was it like finishing second?
In that final leg, we felt really good. We were dominating the challenges, getting through them quick. Our navigation was good. We got quite a big lead on the other teams by the time we got to that final challenge, and it all broke down from there. we were getting through that last challenge quick too. We got everything up. We felt good about it. Called for a check. They said it was wrong. Now, what you don't see in the show, or what you might not realize, is how many different things there are set up there. And so it's not like it's just the kayaks and that's it. And so we're going through the paddles, making sure the pictures are right, making sure the countries are right. We started looking at the smaller details, which were insignificant, but because we didn't know what our mistake was, we just started looking at those small details. And
yeah, there were about 100 variables in that final memory challenge, and we had 98 of them right. There were 2 that were flipped, and they had such similar names. Who wants to be on top of it all? Who wants a bird's eye view? That was the one little thing that we just this little detail that we couldn't get quite right, and that's what ended up costing us in the end. It took us about 20 minutes from the time we had our first check before we finally figured out that's what was flip-flopped.
And even run into that, or after leaving that challenge on the way to the mat, we still had some hope. We knew Greg and John had left a little bit before us, but our navigation was good. There's always a chance somebody gets lost. And so we had hope. We got into that parking lot thinking maybe there's a chance. But when we came around the corner and saw Greg and John there, we knew that we didn't quite make it. It was a close finish, but at the same time, we both felt like, this is how things were supposed to play out, and we felt good about it. Greg and John are awesome people. We have no complaints about any of those teams, and so we were happy for them.
And so, following up with that, it's just an experience in general doing that whole entire thing. And what are some life lessons you guys got out of from competing in the amazing race? And if you didn't have any, what are some personal takeaways you had from the experience?
One of the most important things that we put into practice while we did this was the race will throw everything at you and try really hard to keep you off balance. And there's a lot of stuff outside your control. The only real things you can control are your attitude and your effort. So we decided to focus on those things, and the stuff outside of our control, just let it go. We weren't going to waste any time fighting with each other, getting frustrated if somebody made a mistake or frustrated with ourselves. We just knew that we had to keep that focus on our attitude, keep trying hard, and that was the winning formula for us. That's how we got as far as we did. When you look at us compared to many of the other teams there, we don't look like the team that's going to do well. We don't look like the team that's going to come within 2 minutes of winning the whole thing, but we managed to do that because we kept the right perspective the whole time.
Positivity is the biggest thing for us. You don't get anywhere with negativity. It just slows you down, it holds you back. And so whether it's a difficult challenge, you just stay positive, you keep trying to do it until you figure out the trick to getting it done. When you have a setback, like with the kayaks, we could have focused on negativity there and the rest of the leg would have been even slower. But not only that, but after you get home, you just got to move on, You just stay positive. You're not going to get as far with negativity as you will with positivity.
Yeah, and speaking of home, I know both of your families are very important to you guys. And what role did they play in inspiring you to compete and eventually make it as far as you guys did?
Our families were a big inspiration for us in doing this race. We've been wanting to do it for years, but it's hard to just leave our families. I have 5 kids. He has 4 kids. just to tell our wives, hey, good luck. But they were very supportive. They wanted us to do this. They took care of things while we were away. And a big inspiration for me is my daughter that has special needs. And, I see her, with the things that could hold her back and how she doesn't let anything affect her. She just loves to run around as much as she can. And she might do it with a limp, but she just, nothing holds her back. And so that was an inspiration to me to not let things hold me back and to just push forward as hard as I can. And that was a big inspiration for me is my kids.
Our wives were the true heroes here. We were out having fun. Yes, it was super tough, but it was fun. We were out basically living our dream while our wives were holding it together for a month while we were gone. And I just can't say enough about how awesome they were. They organized these watch parties that we had every week at Big Al's. The crowds kept getting bigger and bigger because our wives were our promoters. They brought local businesses in. They raised money for charity through this. They got the people that came to Big Al's to donate. We're proud of the money we got to raise for the charities that are important to us. It's just so many great things that our wives were able to orchestrate through all of it.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. And so you guys filmed this last summer, and you've been having to, or this past summer is what I mean, and you guys have been having to keep it secret, even from your families too. So what's that been like? How were you even able to do that?
Keeping this big secret, it was tough. And it's been stages, because at first we couldn't even tell anyone we were on the show. Finally, in August, at the end of August, they announced the cast, so then we could say we were on the show, but then all the questions came, and we could give no answers. It would have been cool to be like, just pay attention, because we're going to go far. But we had to keep it quiet, and after every episode aired, it's been nice to be able to talk about what took place in that episode. And now, finally, it's all done, and we can talk about all of it. No more secrets.
Yeah, as each episode aired, that kind of gave us a little bit of a release to be able to at least talk about that episode. We also still had to be cautious because you don't want to say something that could lead somebody to believe that something else is going to happen. But it was nice once we could tell people we were on the show. And then as the episodes aired, it kind of made it a little easier as time went on. But it's not an easy secret to keep.
And so in both of your opinions, what leg of the race what did you find most challenging?
The toughest leg of the race, I think, must have been the leg in Germany, because we ran into so many setbacks in that leg. I had to do a personal task in that one of finding a lock on a bridge with 1 million locks on it, and finding one specific lock in that bridge took me so long, and we were convinced that we were out. We did not think there were any teams behind us. So it was over for us as far as we knew. And it was quite a surprise to find out that there was a team that actually had a worse day than we did. But that one was all about keep moving forward even when you think you're down. Keep smiling even when you think you're down.
Yeah, that leg was definitely the most challenging. I would say the most challenging task that we had to do for each one of us were probably the dancing challenges. Neither one of us are dancers. Going into the show, we both agreed that the other one would have to do all dance challenges. And so when it came down to it, I had to dance with bowls on my head, which luckily was much easier than the dance Strasser had to do, the Irish dance, because, man, that was a lot of footwork and really fast. And so in the end, I think I lucked out with the dancing challenges.
That river dance is probably the toughest thing I've done in at least 20 years. And not just physically. It is a physical dance, but more mentally, trying to fight negativity. The whole time I'm trying to learn how to river dance with these professionals at this high speed. I keep having these thoughts like, you can't do this. You don't belong here. This isn't in your wheelhouse. And I had to push it away and say, I can learn how to do this, and I will succeed. And eventually I did, luckily in enough time that we didn't get eliminated.
And so when you came into this competition, did you guys have an idea that we're going to go out and win this thing? Or was it more, we're just going to come here, compete, and whatever happens, happens?
We came into this really confident until we saw the other 12 teams. And when we're at the Hollywood sign at the beginning and we're looking to our left and to our right, we're like, oh, crap, we're in for it.
Yeah, I felt really good going into it. And Strasser really helps motivate me. He's got a lot of confidence, which built me up a little bit. But yeah, as soon as we saw those teams and realized what we were in for, that's when it hit a little harder. The very start of the race where we raced to the Biltmore Hotel, I still had the confidence at that time. And we thought we might be in first place. We get to the hotel. I think we were in 11th place out of 13 teams. And that's when it hit me like, oh, this is going to be a tough race. And so the fact that we held in for so long and we improved over the legs and just got better and better, I mean, I felt really good about it in the end.
Yeah, so amazing. And with my last question, I just wanted to ask, is there anything else you'd like to tell your fans back home that cheered you on all season long?
I appreciate so much all of the positivity that we've received. So many people have sent us messages, reached out, just been super nice. People recognize us now. It is really weird to get recognized in public and have people just be all excited to take a picture with us and stuff. I just appreciate the support so much. There's been nothing but positivity.
One thing that we love about the state of Idaho, which we both I wasn't born here, but we both were raised here. He was born here.
I was born in Washington.
He wasn't born here either. Let's start over.
We both lived here since we were in elementary school.
I don't know him very well, to be honest with you. One thing I love about the state of Idaho is Idahoans just love to back Idahoans. And so we both were raised here. We've lived here for most of our lives. And we had so many people just cheering for us and reaching out to us and just telling us how much they appreciated us on the show and our positivity and everything. And that's one thing I love about the state of Idaho is we just love to support our own.